Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux and another supporters show. How's everybody doing?
Now that I got my internet back, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy, it might be me and Selby alone today because you're there and I.
Well, they did this 4 months ago. I get up in the morning and it doesn't work all day long, and then at 6 o'clock sharp they turn it back on. I think they take it offline for maintenance during the day. And then they turn it back on at 6 o'clock for all the people coming home from work.
Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Why not do it like late at night though? So, but yeah. Oh, Jeffrey's heaving shots there. If you're still in Florida, those are the wrong aliens. Oh, well,
if they did that at night, then they'd have to pay people overtime fees.
Oh, this is true. Salby, how's it going your way?
I'm doing fine.
All right, so let's go ahead and turn in with our comments at the very top. CNN News, Salem, Saberhagen, Facebook blocks Brighteon for YouTube. Not surprised. It looks like it also censors inappropriate content. DuckDuckGo. Oh yeah, if DuckDuckGo does not reverse this policy, it is crazy. I'm peeking on my mic, so I'm going to turn things down.
DuckDuckGone.
Yeah, DuckDuckGone is right. Start Page or Brave? We'll talk about different options. Start Page or Brave would be the two that I would look into right now for you. I would probably jump off of DuckDuckGo. Let's make DuckDuckGo hurt a little bit, and maybe they'll like, maybe we should not censor stuff. I feel the same thing about Minds, though, because Minds.com is... They have this thing at the top of the page, and I was like, tune your algorithm. Hey, Minds, you do realize that every single social media company that goes bust does it once they start using an algorithm. Stop it. Stop.
I think I've heard this story before. It's not that long ago that the people started to asking questions about Google's origin, that do no evil, and then they removed that altogether. So then now DuckDuckGo is they started as an alternative to Google and to Bing and all those. And the one of the stated benefits was that we don't censor anything. And now they are downgrading certain results because of misinformation. So,
yeah, wowzers. Sorry for the crazy noise. Some people are coming by with like loud cars. I am kind of on the side of an interstate, so. Wherever it takes to do the show, right?
Right.
The show must
go on. Let's just pull over the middle of the freeway and do a show.
Sure. I mean, at least I had the audacity to stop at a rest stop, so I'm legally parked. About Quant and Start Page. I do not use Quant much, so I'm not as familiar with Quant. What I do know about Quant is we'll tip our hand a little bit into the subject matter. Obviously, every search engine has some small degree of censorship, not degree of saying we're going to choose what information to show you, but many of them default to family friendly, and you can usually toggle that off in a setting. Quant doesn't have that even, and the one time somebody's like, look at Quant, and I go on a live stream, type something in on Quant, page 1, there's porn. I'm like, no. So that was actually one of the only videos that I took down after doing it live, because I'm not gonna put porn up on my channel. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't know if they have that tweaked or not. That was a number of years ago, but Quant is one you can look at. There's a Kogia as well. We'll talk about different options. Startpage is owned by an advertising company called System One. No, it is not. We need to dispel that myth. System One made an investment in Startpage. They did not buy them. System One bought Waterfox. They made an investment in Startpage. They do not have any control in what Startpage does. What they did is they basically paid them a lot up front to use them as an advertising network instead of Google and other things. And in exchange, they got money to upgrade servers and add extra features later. So no, System One did not buy Startpage. System One made an investment in Startpage, but they did buy Waterfox. So Waterfox, I would consider itself to be completely compromised.
Blacklisted.
Not so. Yeah, this is something I've looked into in fine detail. I still wish that they did not have anything to do with System One, because System One has a crazy policy, privacy policy, but at least that. let's see, and Fluffy Cloud also clarified that as well. Braxme always shills for start page. All right. Let's see. No self-respecting LA Kings fan would have anything to do with DuckDuckGo as it repeats an offending word out of Anaheim. Okay. Duck, poop, mad. Still recovering from slightly sprained ankle, suffering up to the final step the floor, landing on Monday. Other than that, glad to be finally being back home. I guess you made it home. How is your kitty doing? Razzle review. Duck, no go.
Duck, done.
I'm pausing Ukraine on fire to watch this live. All right. YouTube removed some copies and flagged others, so I'm watching the documentary on Rumble. That's right. I mean, guys, YouTube is getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Just a reminder, I don't say it nearly enough. I am on Rumble. Everything cross-posts to Rumble, so even the replays of these live streams should also be on Rumble soon, as soon as they're done. We are also on Library, and we are also mostly on BitChute. BitChute...
Library's Odyssey, ain't it?
BitChute would work. What's that? Odyssey is Library.
Yeah.
Yeah. BitChute, it should be syncing YouTube videos, but it stopped a long time ago, and BitChute cares more about being a fluffy startup than they care about solving their problems.
Yeah, they're bit shot.
Which is sad to me because literally this is how bad their communication was. On my Christian channel, I used to have everything on BitChute, but their uploader stopped working. And for 6 weeks, I know it was 6 months, I could not upload a single video. And I emailed them 12 times. They kept on mailing me back the canned response. So I finally said, I don't want an incomplete channel. So I requested the deletion. A week later is when they rolled out their brand new uploader, which might have fixed the problem. It's like, you guys are the most incompetent morons. You are sitting on a pile of gold and you're too stupid to actually realize it. So BitChute, I hate BitChute, but we still keep the things there. And BitChute is where I watch content that if somebody has their content on YouTube and content on BitChute and other alt tech, I usually watch it on BitChute because it plays nice with Kodi. Rumble does as well in theory, but I haven't tested that out yet. Let's see.
There was a comment that I noticed. Who was it? Shadow 1028 asked if DuckDuckGo just killed itself, and I think that unfortunately I don't think so, because Google did the same, and Google burned terribly down, didn't it? It's still around. So
I didn't find that comment. What did that say again?
Just above the $2 from Lemon.
Google's got a lot of arms and legs. They can afford to burn one off.
Yeah.
Did DuckDuckGo just kill itself? Okay, so I guess in responding to that, Google at least had the market share and the power to survive something stupid. DuckDuckGo, I don't think does. And we'll get into possibly why they did this, and it begs some other fun questions as well. Thank you for the super chat as well, Lemon Squeeze. 2 pounds. Did 2 pounds crush the lemon squeeze? All right. If you're still in Florida, wrong. Aliens, I am no longer in Florida. Duck suck, no. Look at that beard, putting me to shame. That's right. I've always had this ability to grow this thing. I just never really did. I was hiding my internet beard. Still better to use DuckDuckGo than Google or Bing. Yes, I would agree. But at the same time, there are other options that you can look at as well. So we'll go ahead and talk about replacements here in a bit. Let me just see if there's anything else here. So it doesn't matter, DuckDuckGo, what you search for. I know. Don't worry, Northport. We have not gotten to the topic yet. We're just doing the pre-comments. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. That's right. And this is, by the way, why, this is why I refuse to canonize any Star Wars after The Return of the Jedi. Because Darth Vader, in killing the Emperor, was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Why do we have some other new Emperor now? It's just because they want money. Same thing with Terminator. Everything after Terminator 2 is not really canon. The whole purpose of Terminator 2 was to destroy the possibility of Skynet to be built.
Yeah.
So the last Terminator was more like a comedy.
Probably.
I kind of like the ending of Terminator 3 because sometimes things do go down south, and you need to make the best of it. So if the machines were really that powerful as the first two seems to suggest, then they might have a trick or two up their sleeves. And if time travel really was the way that they would figure out a way to do that. So the Terminator 3 I liked, and then there was a few weird ones after that. But the last one I kind of enjoyed.
The one with him, with the wife out in the woods drinking a beer.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just starting perverting all these things just to make more money.
But I liked in the
that one made me laugh.
Okay. Let me revise a current statement before somebody calls me out on it. Rogue One could still happen because that happened within the context of what happened inside of A New Hope. Okay, I will give them Rogue One, but that's it. Everything else Disney did with Star Wars, screw you. Mickey Mouse just raped Darth Vader, and this is not okay. All right. Bulldog says DuckDuckGo is not what it's quacked up to be. Absolutely. Quant delivers a page that says service unavailable in your country from Russia. Well, thanks for joining us in Russia. Would you agree or disagree that there is misinformation on all sides of this thing? I don't know what Russia's saying, but I know what Ukraine's saying may or may not be true. I don't know. Let's see.
That reminds me of a story that is breaking out today or yesterday. That is massively overblown. The Russian government has decided that the Russian state departments and official departments, that is the Russian government, they have decided that by tomorrow, March 11, all the departmental website has to be under the .ru top level domain. And people are, even a few big papers are taking this as the Russians are planning to disconnect from the internet. So there's some propaganda on both ends, and people read something and they take it out of proportions. Because
how do you know that we're not disconnecting them from the internet?
There's a lot of weird things.
There's always two sides to these arguments.
Let me highlight one last comment. Hello, everyone, and hi to Tom's beard. All right. I know, right? The beard is taking on a life of its own, I realize. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the topic because people are like, what did they censor? So let's go ahead and get into our topic, if we shall. Let me make sure I'm on the right thread. Okay, so early in the morning, we got this tweet over on Twitter. So Gabriel, who is... it's Yag. Gabriel is commenting on this, I think. Yag is... I should have researched this better. Okay. Gabriel is Yag. He is CEO and founder of DuckDuckGo. Co-author, super thinking, co-author, traction, whatever. Okay. Enough with your buzzwords. He comes out and says this: like so many others, I am sickened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the gigantic humanitarian crisis it continues to create. Hashtag stand with Ukraine. At DuckDuckGo, we've been rolling out search updates that rank down sites associated with Russian misinformation. So what has been censored? Well, we don't know yet. This is day one. He response. In addition to down-ranking sites associated with disinformation, we often place new modules and information boxes at the top of DuckDuckGo search results where they are seen and clicked the most to highlight the quality information for rapidly unfolding topics. This is the same thing Google does when it's trying to get a handle on something that is going south of their border. Their mission is to make simple privacy protection accessible to all. Privacy is a human right and transcends politics, which is why About 100 million people around the world use DuckDuckGo. We don't have an exact count since we don't track people. Okay, so he's trying to get a little bit back. But what I find interesting is the comment storm that showed up. Placing news module at the top means placing disinformation at the top. Just want a search engine, not your opinion. They are giving you facts, not the opinion. The search for a neutral, unbiased search engine dedicated to providing access to all information remains ongoing, it appears, and this is sad. I will be putting a positive news stories about you when I type how DuckDuckGo sold out its mission and why people use it. Stop trying to control the narrative. If we wanted a search engine that does that, we would use Google. Even if your feelings are correct, by self-appointing yourself as judge to what is and is not misinformation, you lose all credibility. You may not track results, but the number one reason I hate Google search is because they are so heavily altered with whatever they want you to see, not what is actually the most popular on the internet. So it goes on and 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 on. And so I'm wondering if they're going to actually do this, but and it's like, you're a search engine. Assume your role. Don't be evil. Oh no, please stop. So now you're Google, except poorer. State media, huh? Here we go again. I'd love to know who defines misinformation. I can't find anything positive about this. Shame on you. Just saw that one. Bye-bye, DuckDuckGo. Duck, bye-bye. So Facebook bought you guys too. Duck gone. Yeah, I mean, bye. This is the end. Okay. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, it's a search engine, and it should remain a search engine, and that's it, without a side either way.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the searchers to decide what's phony and what's not.
Yeah, and give me access to information so I can.
People have a brain; they need to use it.
Yeah.
I can understand if they are marking or put a mark on their results that might be not on the things that are in dispute, but downranking it is silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I understand, being able to filter out some forms of content. I'm okay if you have a porn filter or things like that. I'm okay with that, just because there's some things that people just don't want to see, but to say this news site is authoritative and this news site is not. Well, we all know how well that worked out. If you guys remember, I don't know if you guys follow it or not, but there was the John Stossel case, right, who is a journalist, and he reported did good journalism, reported to people on both sides, made a fairly balanced story. Facebook marks it as potentially misinformation with fact checkers saying mostly false. Well, he sues them because he's a journalist and he can't be a journalist with mostly false after his work. Well, Facebook, in their actual pleading to the court to drop the case, says, well, these guys are just opinions. So is it opinions or is it a fact check? And that's the same business that now DuckDuckGo wants to get involved in. Who determines misinformation? Who watches the Watchmen? That's a good question for DuckDuckGo to answer.
There is Watchmen all the way down, don't you know?
Yeah. All right, so I want to actually look at maybe this might have something to do with it. This actually just came out March 5th. That would be 5 days ago. Conspiracy theorists are tired of Google and turning to DuckDuckGo. This was originally something from posted from New York Times. This is a follow-up article on that. On last year's episode of the popular, banished, highly censored Joe Rogan podcast, he addressed a topic that touched right-wing communities and other Americans who are skeptical of the koofiness. Search engines. Quote, if I wanted to find specific cases about people who died from vaccine-related injuries, I had to go to DuckDuckGo. End quote, said Joe Rogan, referring to the small, privacy-focused search engine. Quote, I didn't find them on Google. End quote. Praise for DuckDuckGo has become a popular refrain during the koofiness among the right-wing social media influencers and conspiracy theorists who question COVID-19 vaccines and promote discredited coronavirus treatments. Some have posted screenshots showing that DuckDuckGo is generating more links favorable to their views than Google. The article goes on, but it basically boils down into DuckDuckGo is providing results that Google, Bing, and a lot of your mainstream sources are not also providing. And this comes out 5 days ago. What do you guys think? Is it a coincidence that DuckDuckGo finally decides that they're going to start censoring things? Or is Ukraine just a excuse to do this? Or do you think that this article is completely unrelated? What do you guys think? And let me know in the comments too, and we'll look at comments here in a minute. Dan,
over the last week, I've been watching a lot of Newsmax during the day while I'm doing something else, which we all know is a little more to the right than the left. But they reported one day that there's this island out in the Black Sea outside of Ukraine, and a Russian ship had ordered them to surrender, and they told them to go blank themselves, so they blew up the island. And then a few days ago, they turn around and say, well, we captured all the people on the island and took them with us as prisoners. So what do you believe? I mean, and I'm hearing this from the same news source.
I've heard that it's confirmed on both sides that the soldiers are alive. So what apparently happened is that the Navy ship landed. They put a landing party on and captured.
But the point is they jumped the gun at the very beginning to the very worst.
Yeah, they did, because that sells a lot of clicks and newspapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is not the only case that we've seen. There have been dozens of different stories that have come out being like, not quite sure. I was looking for somebody actually posted some to these, but let's see. Oh, just show the ones that may have offensive content. Sure. Let's see. Oh yeah. Did the CIA donate a pretty dollar to you as well? Oh, there's a lot of screenshots of people deleting. Oh, somebody's got a duck hunt one. Oh yeah, look at that. That's epic. Good old duck hunt game. Yep. I remember that one. Nope, there's this one's going to Brave. Okay, goodbye. There you go. No, it's somebody. A lot of people started posting some other articles up to here, illustrating some of the things that were false narratives on the Ukraine side. And for sure, there's false narratives on both sides. Nobody, of course, is talking about how much money the dementia patient in chief actually gets out of Ukraine. So, the country may not have a real purpose to get involved. I know of a popular dementia patient who does, or at least his crack-addled son. So what do we do about it? What can we do? There are a number of other search engines that exist. Start Page is a big one, and Brave. Brave has a new search engine. It is easy to set in your Brave browser, but you can set it as the default in other browsers as well. And they are now independent of Bing and Google. When they first launched in beta, they were still utilizing searches filtered through Microsoft and Google, which would, of course, raise some issues. But they have since dropped that, and they have their own search algorithms in place. And I've not used it a ton. I use it a little bit, but not a ton. So if you have, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys have ideas?
The thing is when you start telling them, when we want to expect to see both sides in the end of it. Whatever's posted out there, it's up to us to decide what's fake and what's real. When you turn around and you want someone to tell them to censor out the untrue stuff, that seems to drift to an agenda at the end.
As Viva Fry said on a stream the other day, when you start throwing around the title conspiracy theorist, I start knowing who to listen to.
Right.
Yeah, but then you, if you are starting to root out conspiracy theories, then you are endangering of blocking legal or recognized. One example is that the official explanation for what happened on September 11 is a conspiracy theory. A conspiracy
and there was a lot of information thrown out on the internet about that.
Let me finish my argument of what I'm talking about. Because a conspiracy theory is a theory of two or more people conspiring in order to do a crime. That's a conspiracy theory. The explanation of what happened to September 11 is just happened to be what is officially recognized as what actually happened, but it's still a conspiracy theory. Even some theories actually are real. So who's going to decide which theory is real and which is just stupid?
Yeah, correct. And this is why we need full access to all information available, so that we can read through. I give me the information and I'll sort out if Andrew Cuomo or Alex Jones is more right. I'm sorry, Chris Cuomo or Alex Jones is more right. Sorry, I lost my politicians. But absolutely. So when DuckDuckGo starts pushing things out like this,
they're no longer neutral.
Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of other options. Ecosia is one, which I have not looked at much. I don't know if you guys have. They have allegedly plant trees for every search. I'm not totally sure if they...
Everything you find will be green.
Yeah, there you go. They want to be like the energy neutral search engine. Then there is Cerex, but Cerex itself, it's not a search engine per se. It's a aggregator. So what it does is it plugs into all these other search engines, and then it will give you results from all of them. So it's good in the sense that it will indeed give you a lot more results, because if Google happens to censor something out and Microsoft doesn't, then it will show you that as well. So Cerex is one. Start Page is, of course, the one I look at. There's a few other ones out here that I've never heard of. On this kind of shady article I sent out earlier, but it's fairly shady, so I'm not sure I want to go into all that. There's Mojik. They got Woogle. Shiznam. So there's other search engines out there, but there's nothing out there that's like absolutely the best in the world.
Just have to every search engine has its pros and cons, and you just have to figure out what you are comfortable living with. So I'm still sticking with Google because it gives me what I need, and I have yet to not find what I'm searching for.
So you're using the devil then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I am.
No. All right.
The
GNU person is in the cohorts with the devil. Did you know?
I always knew it.
I use Start Page because it kind of leeches off the devil and gives. When you're looking for repairs for Linux and stuff like that, you don't find much on DuckDuckGo like you do on Start Page.
Google is the devil. Start Page is the vampire. Ask Jeeves. There you go.
Does that still exist?
If you don't want to hunt around, though, my recommendation, if you don't want to hunt around for different options, I would look at Start Page and Brave. Those would be the ones that I would look at. So I am going to be pulling DuckDuckGo off of all of my search results, search engines, because no, not for now. Now, if they see the error of their ways and they reverse this down the road, then maybe it would be worth going back to them. But I have a sneaky suspicion that there is something big and more nefarious going on back here, because that big hit piece comes out on the New York Times 5 days ago. Now they all of a sudden want to censor results. And by the way, all of their servers and data is being stored on Amazon.
Yeah, perhaps the people that bought WaterFox bought DuckDuckGo.
I don't know, maybe. Well, that's what I have as way of the topic. And we might need to wrap this show up early today because it has been extraordinarily cloudy all day. I have pulled in a grand total of 200 watts of power off of the sun. Fortunately, I did need to drive about an hour, so I charged up the batteries a little bit with the engine charger, but it's still not enough to run this big computer for much longer. We are not doing a Christian stream tonight. I will be at a conference tomorrow and into the weekend. I should still have weekly news roundup. Keep an eye on any of the social medias. I'll go ahead and put it on the YouTube comments as well if the things are going to change. I'm planning to have news, but I will have news. It might be later. I looked at our conference schedule and they have us in the conference up until 9 o'clock. And so that is, that's kind of what's going on this end. But I do plan on running it. Don't expect a video for Saturday, though. I'm going to prioritize my extra time tomorrow morning to get out a video for Tux Traveler. So if you're not following me over there on the travel channel, go ahead and follow me on Tux Traveler. And hopefully I can get that video out. It's going to be a big one. So hopefully I can get that out too. But anyway, any other final thoughts from you guys?
Just figure out what you want in a search engine, and remember that there is not a single search engine that is going to be perfect. Figure out what you really can't put up with, and find the search engines that doesn't do that, and stick with them.
Yeah, and if you have to align with the devil, at least if you make the informed consent to align with the devil, that's okay too, right?
Yeah, and it actually boils down to if you have to choose between 3 or 4 evils, pick one that actually delivers what you're searching for. It's no good to use a search engine that doesn't do anything that you don't want to do, and then it turns out they're not good at finding what you're searching for. So,
yeah.
We're still free as a people. Use the search engine that works for you to get the results that you want to see.
Yeah.
You have a brain, so use it and figure out what you believe in and what you don't.
I was using DuckDuckGo, and I was looking up temptations, and I couldn't find any of them, and they censored temptations. They suck now.
Yeah, it's open season on ducks.
All right. Let's see, just use my neighbor's Wi-Fi and
the
Google.
Duck just went daffy.
Quack. All right, guys, we are going to jump off here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Hopefully tomorrow at the regular time, but I will let you guys know when the news will happen, if it's early, late, or not live or something like that. Or maybe we could do it Saturday. I mean, we could do the weekly news roundup on Saturday instead because our conference only goes until, like, Saturday afternoon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But anyway, we'll catch you guys later.